Hello guys, good afternoon. So this is going to be a video I wanted to record as part of the instructions for session number 8. Today we have an asynchronous class and there are a couple of things that I wanted to share. The material is already uploaded, so you can go and check different materials and the activity that is assigned due to this week and for this class. And you also have 2 preview videos. So I'm going to kind of like guide you through the whole thing so you have it clear. If you have any questions, you always know that you can contact me and reach me, but I totally recommend you to watch the whole video because probably the answers are going to be here for these sessions. Okay, great. Let me just share my screen. And what I'm going to do with this video is I wanted to like guide you through the process. So for those of you who just recently incorporated to the course, this is how the campus looks like. Most of the questions are here. Most of the answers to your questions are here, I'm sorry. And then we already covered all of these lessons. Previous lesson was about the English Renaissance, that we have a discussion of of this period, what Renaissance really means. So we're at this point here, Humanist and Courtiers part 1, and all of these sessions are divided into 2 parts because there are so many writers, so many topics we need to cover. So I decided for this level to have an introduction of the Renaissance period. And as you might remember from the previous session, the Renaissance period like lasted around like 200, 300 years. So we have a lot to cover in this period of time. But that's why I decided to divide each of the topics into 2 parts. Part 1, and then you're gonna find part 2. But we're only concerning about this first part, the Humanist and Courtiers part. And then the next class we're gonna cover the second one. Then we're going to study some sonnets, and it's important that you guys go through the lesson today, because in these lessons you're gonna find out and you're gonna realize that there is a thing that is called sonnet, and there's a story of the development of the sonnet, and we're getting into a point of Shakespeare. So, but before Shakespeare, we're studying the very beginning. We're actually studying Elizabeth I in this section, in this part. So you go and click here. And as always, you have the date, and this is for group A, but it's going to be February 11th for group B. So this video is going to be for both because I don't want to record the video the same thing twice. So what we're going to do in here, we're going to interpret the literary history of the development of the sonnet through some readings of poetry while answering some reflection questions. The first thing that you gotta do, this is as an asynchronous class, asynchronous lesson. We're gonna complete the study and review the content of study. In this one, we have a lecture. It's not a lecture, it's like a talk that we have by this lady. She's talking about the history of the sonnet, and it's quite interesting because it's like a forum for poetry, and you can watch the video and practice 2 things. Well, to get to know like the history of the sonnet from her perspective, and also to practice your listening skills for your English. It's important, guys, that you do not skip these videos, because usually I give you like a preview video and then we develop the class and then we have like an expansion video. All of the videos, I know that you might say, oh, but those are like YouTube videos, but it takes time to select the right video for you, and the one that is like long enough, and the one that is substantial enough for your learning. So I totally recommend, guys, that you go and watch each of the videos, whether they're preview, development of the class, or their expansion videos. It's gonna help you a lot in order to have like a wider knowledge of the different topics we cover. And this particular thing, we have history. I'm sorry, I just misspelled history. I'm gonna fix it. History of the sonnet. And the second one, you're gonna have a previous second part, um, where you're gonna learn about Francesco Petrarca, which is an Italian. In Italian, that is considered the father of humanism. Humanism is a concept that we studied in the previous session. So for me, it's really important, guys, that you go through all of the content and important things to know about this guy. It's not a long video. It's around like less than 10 minutes or 12 minutes, something like that. So it's some time that you can watch before going to bed, or I don't know, when you have some free time at the moment of having your lunch or something, like your breakfast. So those videos are not long videos. Those are like something that you can actually digest in like 15 minutes. So look the video and the information. I'm sorry. And the information about, because there were like many cars passing by, the information about this guy. This guy wrote a lot of sonnets, around like some 360 something sonnets. So he is a very influential guy at the moment of writing lyric poems and lyric poetry. And he basically set the foundation of what Shakespearean sonnet are all about. And then you're gonna, in this part, after this, you're gonna find my video, that is this recording. Okay, this is for the development of the class section, but then you go to the activities. Before going to the activities, I want you to go to the materials section. In the materials section, you're gonna have 3 readings. And you might say, oh, that's a lot of reading. But these 3 readings, the first one is 2 pages long, that it's a document referring to the history of development of the sonnet, what a sonnet is about, the forms of the sonnet, something that you need to know about meter and rhyme patterns, the most important thing, the crucial information about this, sonnet forms. There are different types of sonnets. For example, we have the Italian type, that is the Italian sonnet. Then we have the English sonnet, which the most referential person for this type of sonnet is Shakespeare. We also have the Spenserian like sonnet, and that's it. It's actually very digestible like information. It's short. It's gonna take you around 5 minutes. This is a 5 minutes reading, and you're gonna learn a lot. Read it once, read it twice, read it as many times as necessary in order to comprehend, in order to kind of understand what we're talking about when we talk about sonnets, because next session is going to be live, but it's going to be a lot of practice. Okay, that is for reading number 1. Reading number 2, we have one selection of a poetry in here. This poem is by Sir Thomas White, and this is the poem. It's a very short poem, but to get the reference of what poetry looks like in this period of early Renaissance, like mid-Renaissance in English. So this one is like a preview. In this one, you don't need to do anything. There's no activities in here. What you need to do is to read and get the notion and the sense of what we're talking about. So we have 2 pages long, 5 minutes reading. And then we have a third one that it's also 2 pages long. And On Monsieur's Departure by Elizabeth I. And you're gonna get a notion of who Elizabeth I was. And then you have this famous poem that is actually very beautiful. If you look for the poem on YouTube, there are some like clips of this poem, the readings of this poem, and the poetry of this like poem. It's beautiful. It's actually very rhythmic and very passionate, and Probably some of you might find it interesting. So it's very short. So it's gonna take you around 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to read it. So in total, you have 3 readings, that it's reading 1, 2, and 3. It's gonna take you no more than 15 minutes to read all of this. 15. All right, once you complete the readings, you go to this activity. And in this activity is the only activity that is evaluated for today's session. You're going to need to download the document. You're going to complete the questions. You're going to submit the questions. The deadline for this one is February 16th. So guys, please don't like miss the deadline, because some of you are like, could you please open the space to, like, you know how you are. So I'm not going to, I'm just gonna show you how it actually looks like. Hold on, I just want to make sure I'm just showing the right screen. This is the Sonnet assessment quiz. It's individual work, and this is a Sonnet quest, which means you have to find the information. The direction is search for the right responses to these questions, and answer and submit your paper. So you have you have 12 questions. And in this one, it's for example, fill in the blanks, but you need to find the information on internet. Like you go to internet, you go to YouTube, like different media that you can like search for info. So you have a sonnet has, and then if you don't know the answer, you go and Google, and then you have a sonnet has 12 lines, 13 lines, 14 lines. Make sure you let me know. This is a Word document, so you can edit it, and which means basically that you can highlight the right answer, or this one. I don't know, only one, right? Depending on the right answer. And the same way for, this is a Spenserian, Petrarchan, or Shakespearean sonnets are also known as Italian sonnets. These answers, you can find the answers, these answers, you can find them in the readings that are in the material section. Sonnets are written in iambic, and then you sort of, Petrarchan's conceit is a comparison of two like items, true or false. The Shakespearean sonnet consists of A, B, or C. Which of the following is the rhyme scheme of the Petrarchan sonnet? And then you have A, B, B, A, C, D, D, C. And then you need to find the right pattern, the right scheme. And so those are like the different questions. In total, you have 12 questions. So you need to go and do the readings, because like half of the answers, you're gonna find them on the reading. And then the other half is probably you going to internet. All right. So that's, and after you complete, make sure you write it just appeared a message. But I think it's still recording. Yes. When you complete it, make sure you write your name and the answers, right? Let me just try it one more time. All right. So, and then you go back to the main page, to this section. And what you're going to do, you're going to have in space to upload the homework. And it's going to say, it actually says session number 8, Humanist and Courtiers part. And then you're going to upload the homework in this section. Deadline February 16th. Don't forget. And yep, that's going to be your deadline. So guys, if you have, this is everything for this lesson. So hopefully you guys have no problems with all of this. If you do have problems, please contact me, reach me, say, Mr. This is my question, blah, 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 blah. Please make sure, one more time, to watch the entire video, because all of the answers probably are here. So I don't want to be rude sometimes, guys, because probably like some of you might think like I'm rude and I don't want to answer. every time that you ask me any specific question, and I know that answering that question is in the video, and you're asking me the same questions over and over and over again, and those questions are answered in the video that I record. That's why every time that we have an asynchronous class, I record a video, because I want you to be clear about how to follow the process, and this is the reason why. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your weekend. This is yeah, your weekend, because we're half of the week. So have a good one. Take care. Pórtense bien, que nada les cuesta, ¿verdad?